Hi everybody, Glenn here from Leicester City and the community. I hope you're all doing okay. So today I'm going to read Perfectly Norman by Tom Percival, and this is part of our partnership with No Outsiders. If you have a look at the front cover, can you spot anything that's different about Norman? Okay, let's start and have a read. As you can see here, Norman is flying his kite with his dog, having lots of fun. Norman had always been normal, perfectly normal. As you can see here, Norman is throwing a stick for his dog to run after, and he's holding his kite. On the other page, he's with all of his friends, he's sitting on a wall, his kite's leaning up against the wall, and he's eating an ice cream, which looks absolutely yummy, to be fair. So, until one day, he grew a pair of wings. Can you see these really colourful, tall wings? Come all the way up here. Norman had always imagined growing taller or growing a beard like his dad. But he had never imagined growing a pair of wings. Still, they were here now, so he decided to test them out right away. As you can see, Norman flying up into the sky with his amazing wings up to where the birds are. Soon, Norman was swooping around and generally having the most fun ever. But then he had to go in for dinner. You see, Norman had always been so normal. He didn't know how his parents would feel about his extraordinary wings. As you can see up here, Norman's thinking, it's like, oh, what am I going to do? My parents are calling for dinner time. As he went in, Norman covered himself up in a great big coat. So as you can see, he's grabbing his big yellow coat there, cover his wings up so no one can see. His parents didn't notice the wings, but they did think it was odd to be wearing a coat indoors. As you can see, Norman is sitting at the table with his mum and dad, and they're like, I wonder why he's wearing a coat. Bath time was problematic, so was bedtime. You can see Norman there sitting in the bath with his duck and his big coat on. The coat was hot and uncomfortable, but Norman had decided that no one should see his wings, ever. Why do you think Norman didn't want people to see his wings? The next day, Norman went to the park, but he was far too hot to play any of his favourite games. So as you can see there, Norman's feeling a little bit lonely because he can't take part in what everyone else is doing because he feels a little bit too hot and uncomfortable. And so it went on. Long car journeys were unbearable. The swimming pool was dreadful. How was he supposed to take part in swimming lessons or play games in the swimming pool if he had a coat on? And that was nothing compared to his friend's birthday party. They were having so much fun on the bouncy castle. But Norman, he couldn't take part, he couldn't get involved because of his big coat. The only time that Norman could feel normal was when it rained. So as you can see there, Norman He is in the rain and he fits in because it's raining and he's got his coat on. One day, a boy tried to pull his coat off, and Norman had to run away, hot-faced, angry and sad. As you can see there, look at Norman's face. He looks particularly upset. He wished he'd never grown those stupid wings. Then he saw some birds high up in the sky and remembered the joy of his first flight. It occurred to Norman that it was the coat that was making him miserable, not the wings. As you can see there, Norman's looking up to the sky to where the birds are. Why don't you take that tatty old thing off? Suggested his mum and dad. Norman looked up at them hesitantly. His parents smiled and nodded. Norman smiled back. Then he threw off his coat and let his wonderful wings fan out. Look at how happy Norman looks with his coat off and his wings up into the sky. Norman leapt into the air. Finally, he was free of that coat. Look at how happy he looks. He noticed a few of the other children were wearing thick, heavy coats of their own. They looked up at Norman and round at each other nervously. There was a moment of pause. And then, as you can see, look, all of the children with big, thick coats on, they're looking up to Norman. Whoosh! The sky was filled with flying people. Norman had never felt so happy. Look at all these children. They've all got their wings and they're flying around the sky. What a really happy moment. He realised that there was no such thing as perfectly normal. But he was perfectly Norman, which was just as it should be. It's really, really important to be ourselves, isn't it? And perfectly Norman helps us identify that. We are special people and we are unique, and it's important to celebrate that, isn't it? Thank you for listening, everybody.